Welcome back everyone to the Legacy of Wisdom channel. In our previous video, we explored 5 common foods that, as it turns out, aren't too fond of our refrigerators, right? If you found that information helpful and have had a chance to adjust your storage habits, please don't forget to hit the like button on the last video. And if this is your first time visiting our channel, please do subscribe right away so you don't miss out on more helpful insights about health and nutrition, especially for folks our age. Continuing on that topic, today we're going to call out another 4 foods that you might want to think twice about before putting them in the fridge. Some of these might even surprise you. Let's learn together some more great tips to help keep our kitchens safe and our meals even more delicious. Now, let's move on to a beverage that's incredibly familiar and found in just about every household: coffee. Some of you might be surprised to see coffee on this list, but there's a really good reason for it. Coffee beans and ground coffee are very sensitive to moisture, odors, and light. When we put them in the refrigerator, we might think we're keeping them fresh, but in reality, we're causing them to lose their quality quickly. Coffee is highly hygroscopic, meaning it easily absorbs moisture and smells from its surroundings, kind of like a sponge. Inside the refrigerator, surrounded by fruits, vegetables, and leftovers, the coffee starts to absorb those aromas and flavors. This can change the coffee's characteristic taste, making it bland, bitter, or giving it a strange flavor, not at all like it should be. Besides the flavor, moisture is also a big concern. When coffee comes into contact with the cold air and humidity in the fridge, condensation can form on the surface of the beans or ground coffee every time the refrigerator door is opened and closed. This can lead to clumping, premature loss of flavor, and the breakdown of essential oils that create coffee's enticing aroma and beneficial compounds, such as chlorogenic acids. These acids are powerful antioxidants, good for the heart and brain, but they can break down faster in cold and damp conditions. Over time, refrigerated coffee not only loses its delicious taste, but also some of its potential health benefits. Furthermore, damp ground coffee can become moldy, especially if stored in a container that isn't airtight, creating a potential health risk. So, what's the best way to store coffee to maintain its flavor and quality? Instead of refrigerating it, we should store coffee in an airtight, dark-colored container at room temperature, in a dark cupboard. This helps the coffee stay fresh, keeps its rich flavor, and ensures it's safe to use. Next up, let's talk about something sweet that many of us enjoy: honey. This might be surprising to a lot of folks. Honey has a lovely sweet taste, a thick consistency, a beautiful golden color, and it seems like it could be stored anywhere, including the refrigerator. However, the truth is, storing honey in the fridge isn't the best way to go. Refrigeration not only affects the texture of honey, but can also speed up its natural crystallization process. When we put honey in the refrigerator, the cold temperature causes it to crystallize quickly. This means it becomes grainy, hard, and almost impossible to scoop or spread, which can be quite inconvenient. Now, you might be thinking, oh, it's just a change in texture, right? Not exactly. The crystallization process can create air pockets, which then introduce moisture into the container when we open and close it repeatedly. And moisture isn't honey's friend. It can lead to fermentation, making our honey taste sour and develop an unpleasant smell, losing its natural delicious flavor. While honey has excellent self-preserving qualities, thanks to its low water content and high acidity, exposure to moisture can create conditions for microorganisms to grow. Cold temperatures also slow down the natural enzymes in honey, which contribute to its antibacterial properties. So, refrigerating honey can negatively impact its quality over time. The best place to keep honey is in a tightly sealed jar, in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight and excessive heat. That way, we can maintain its smooth texture, natural flavor, and all its beneficial health compounds. Now let's talk about a familiar fruit that many of us enjoy, especially folks in our age group: bananas. Bananas are not only easy to eat and digest, but also a great source of potassium. However, there's something that not everyone might know, and that's that storing bananas in the refrigerator isn't the best way to keep them tasty. Bananas are a tropical fruit, and their internal chemical structure is designed for warmer environments. When we put bananas in the refrigerator, especially before they're fully ripe, the cold temperature can significantly slow down the ripening process. This means our bananas might never ripen properly. They'll stay hard, bland, and what's worse, their peel will quickly turn a dull gray or black, looking very unappetizing. This discoloration isn't just about the appearance of the banana. It's also a sign that the banana has suffered cold damage. Underneath that black peel, the banana often becomes mushy in odd spots and develops an unpleasant, metallic taste, losing all its deliciousness. Besides the flavor and appearance, refrigeration can also affect the natural antioxidants found in bananas, particularly dopamine and catechin, which are important for brain health and reducing oxidative stress in aging cells. For those of us in our age group, these compounds are especially important for maintaining overall health. What's even worse is that if the bananas are already overripe, when we put them in the fridge, the moisture that builds up inside the peel can create conditions for mold to grow, especially around the stem area, posing potential health risks. So, instead of extending their shelf life, we risk exposing ourselves to mold. So, what's the best way to store bananas to maintain their delicious flavor and valuable nutrients? Bananas should be kept at room temperature, ideally hung up or in a fruit bowl so that air can circulate around them. If you happen to have too many ripe bananas, you can peel them and freeze them in a sealed container for smoothies or baking later. But don't put them in the refrigerator hoping they'll last longer. You'll just end up with a fruit that has significantly lost its nutrients, texture, and natural flavor. Finally, but no less important, let's talk about a very important food in many households, widely used in everyday cooking: olive oil. Olive oil is highly valued for its wonderful, heart-healthy benefits and its versatility in preparing dishes. When olive oil is stored in the refrigerator, it undergoes a process called congealing, where the fatty acids crystallize, causing the oil to become cloudy and partially solidify. While this physical change isn't harmful, the repeated temperature fluctuations when we take the oil in and out of the fridge can affect the oil's quality over time. Every time olive oil goes from a cold to a warm temperature, its chemical structure can be affected, speeding up the oxidation process. This oxidation can reduce the beneficial antioxidant properties of the oil. These oxidative changes can alter the oil's chemical composition, affecting its flavor and health benefits. It's worth noting that some scientific studies have indicated that olive oil exposed to frequent temperature changes might contribute to an increased risk of arthritis and digestive discomfort. Since these are common health issues for folks in our age group, we need to be even more mindful. The congealing process also makes the oil difficult to pour, increasing the risk of spills or using too much, which can add unnecessary calories to our daily diet. Beyond health concerns, the delicate flavor of olive oil can also be affected by refrigeration. The oil might lose its characteristic fruity and peppery notes, reducing the appeal of our dishes and preventing us from fully appreciating its delicious taste. So, what's the best way to store olive oil to ensure its quality and maintain its delicious flavor? Instead of storing it in the refrigerator, we should keep olive oil in a dark glass bottle or metal container in a cool, dry place, away from heat sources like the stove. When stored properly, high-quality olive oil will maintain its health benefits and delicate flavor for up to 2 years. So, there you have it. I've just shared with you all about 9 foods that we shouldn't refrigerate. To get started, let's try rearranging our kitchens based on these food types. Keep tropical fruits like bananas and avocados out of the fridge until they're perfectly ripe. Store potatoes and onions in a cool, dark place, not in a cold and damp one. Bread should stay at room temperature or in the freezer, not the refrigerator. Honey belongs in the pantry, and coffee in an airtight container in a dark cupboard. As for garlic and tomatoes, let's treat them like the natural, powerful ingredients they are, and store them wisely to preserve their delicious flavor and health benefits. I'm really looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Are any of you currently refrigerating these foods without knowing the potential risks? What habits will you be changing starting today? Please share your real-world experiences and personal opinions with me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you all. Thanks for taking the time to listen.